All right, goons, the big dog is back, and you know what that means. Lucky Lou is ready to do what he do. Now, before we take on the Miami Heat, I want to first say congratulations to Wizards District Gaming. They won their second championship. They went back-to-back like Lucky Lou when he's on the attack at the rack. And I would love to see them do what Lucky Lou is trying to do, which is complete the three-peat, win them a third championship in a row. So congratulations for the win. Congratulations to the current success. And I wish you luck for your future success and endeavors. I'm hoping for another great season from the 2K League. Now, let's get into it. I want to talk 2K22. While we whip up on the Miami Heat, this could be the last time that we face Miami. This is the last chance we're facing them in the regular season. And if anything is to be said, the only way they could face us again is if they get all the way to the Eastern Conference Championship. And you already know if they get there, then they not going anywhere, because Lucky Lou going to do what he do and send them home. Send them home from school, baby. It's game time. But like I said, I want to talk about 2K22. In the past episode, I focused on how I would love to see some more dynamics come from it to stack on top of these improved defensive aspects of the game. And what I mean by that is simple. If you've seen past episodes where I talked about 2K in discussion form, it literally focuses on, I would love to see dynamic robberies, dynamic everything come into the MyCAREER form. And they said that this MyCAREER is going to be more dynamic than MyCAREERs in the past. And I'm hoping that when they speak on that, they're talking about things like dynamic robberies, things like dynamic difficulty, and that those things would just ultimately create a dynamic MyCAREER experience. So there are three things. First, dynamic robberies. Second, dynamic difficulty. And third, I want to see something return and kind of get infused from my league, or, you know what I'm saying, my GM, which is dynamic overalls. I want to see those overalls go up and down for the other players in the league. I've been playing for 3 seasons, and none of my teammates' overall has gone up or down. None of my opponents' overall has gone up or down. And to me, that just takes away a little bit of the RPG aspect of the game. Like, if I'm continuously getting better and nobody else is, then is that really, you know what I'm saying, playing a role? I'm the superstar in a team in a league full of bums. So let's talk about dynamic robberies. Now, the reason why I want to see dynamic robberies, like I've spoken about in the past, over the past couple of years, is because as much as the Hendricks Cobb rivalry was cool in college, he didn't do anything in the pros that made me think like, oh yeah, this guy might really be a threat. Like, dude, they traded him within 13 games of the first season. You know what I'm saying? Every year, they always talked about how Hendricks Cobb was the better version of me, but yet in MyCAREER, he only has one accolade, and it is all first team rookie, all rookie first team. He doesn't have any other accolade on his belt, none whatsoever. So my thing is that this dude was a bust. He was a washout. He was a bum. Like, at the end of the day, like, you know, I don't care what his overall is. He was a bum. And so when you look at it, I want to see more dynamic difficulties. So instead of them creating a player who is just going to be like in the way in the beginning, give me opponents that I can truly match up with on so many different aspects. And another reason why I want to see them go toward the dynamic difficulty, and I'm hoping that we see that in this year's installment, is because basketball is so positionless when it comes down to it. It's no longer like point guards versus point guards, shooting guards versus shooting guards. The matchups are more so skill based. So LeBron James is listed as a point guard at times. He's listed as a small forward at times, depending on where you look. Then when you look at cats like Chris Paul is, you know, he's listed as a point guard. But if you look at my player kind of feels more like a Chris Paul-esque player. I mean, Chris Paul doesn't get as many turnovers as I do a game, but when it comes down to it, Chris Paul's a facilitator and he's a bucket getter. You know what I'm saying? He makes the offense better around him, and I would rather see myself being matched up against players who fit my skill set, not players who fit my height or position. You see what I'm saying? So, like, I don't want it to be, if I create a 7-footer, like, they only compare me to other 7-foot centers and everything. Instead, compare me to big men who are getting blocks like I'm getting blocks. You see what I'm saying? If I compare me to the Hakeem Olajuwon, compare me to, you know what I'm saying, the Dikembe Mutombos, if I'm out there swatting shots left and right, then can make the proper comparisons, not based on my height. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, Kawhi Leonard can get compared to Gary Payton. The dude literally can take the ball out of Obama's hands. And I want to see those comparisons happen in 2K22. So hopefully we get those dynamic difficulties where those are the matchups that we're looking at. Why? Because if we have those dynamic difficulties, if we have fluctuating overalls, and at the same time, if we can get a dynamic, I'm not saying we can get a dynamic difficulty level in the first year. I think what I really want to make sure is we get into dynamic rivalries, and if we can get the dynamic difficulties down the line, then cool. But if we get the dynamic rivalries and the fluctuating overalls from the other players based on how they play and how well they play, then we can get a system put into place that makes the MyCAREER experience feel less like a chore and more like something to experience, right? And then at the same time, if you got all these changes with the AI that makes AI play better AI defense on both sides, right? Not just the people that you're playing against, but at the same time, your AI teammates play better defense, then that means we can see true, you know what I'm saying, improvements on the game itself. If we can get all that, then the only thing left to do would literally be fix the online latency structure, just the online structure in general. Once you got that fixed, then people will look at that 2K that comes out on that year. So let's say it's not 2K22. 2K22 does everything that they said they're going to do when it comes down to improving the defense. Now, let's say 2K23, they say, yeah, we figured out all the problems that's wrong with why our online structure has its faults. And they fix those for 2K23. Then 2K23 would essentially be the quintessential best version of 2K to ever be created since its inception, for real. And that's mainly because at the end of the day, they would have fixed all the problems, and at the same time, everybody who plays the game on every single level, regardless of what level you play on. So whether you're playing my team, whether you're playing MyCAREER, whether you're playing Play Now, every aspect of the game is just fluid, and that's all determined based on how well it connects user to user. And so, like I said, I'm hopeful that within the next 2 years that they figured out the online latency issue that fixes the problem. But I'm more so just hoping right now for this year that these defensive improvements that they say that they made, and hopeful for a online dynamic structure that makes the online AI plays well for those who love to play online. But at the same time, you know, somebody might fall out of the game, and the last thing you want to do is be stuck with AI teammates who act like trash. But at the same time, for us who play MyCAREER and play extensively, hopefully we get AI experiences that make the game feel like it's forever evolving within itself, instead of just having to make it evolve by kind of like forcing certain stupidity things. Like, in order for me to make the game feel more realistic for me, I literally have to turn on coach making calls, because it's the only way that the offense, my offense, isn't just scoring, you know what I'm saying, 109 to 71 every game. You see what I'm saying? So hopefully we see some dynamics come into the game, and we'll, like I said, we'll see what happens when the game come out. As you can see, I'm playing my kind of brand of basketball. Except for this year, I've been getting a lot of weak side blocks. It's kind of weird, you know what I'm saying? But we out here getting out. Look at that, another weak side block, another weak side block, another weak side block. But we out here getting out 7 blocks, triple double, solid point production. Got closer. I'm getting closer and closer to the assist record. I've already broken it once, so now I got to break my own record of 31 assists, and hopefully I can get that done before the season is over. We got more coming out. I told you, we're going to finish this season before 2K22 drop, and throughout the process, we're going to talk about NBA 2K22 and what we expect from it, what we hope from it, and I'm hyped for it. I hope you're hyped for it. And like I said, I hope y'all are enjoying the series so far. When the series come back for 2K22, we're going back to the way we used to do it, which is nothing but trash talk, game in, game out. Whether we're talking about offline, online, park, MyCAREER, record, doesn't matter. We're talking trash. I'm going to see you guys on the next one. Peace.